Valley. Welcome to the March 13th, 2018 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. We'll start off with a call to order and the roll call. Kathy.
Commissioner Trevini?
Here.
Commissioner Fallman?
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman?
Here.
Vice Chairperson Avalos?
Present.
Chairperson Prayer?
Here. All right. Moving on, if everybody has had a chance to look at the agenda for this evening, offer any suggestions for any changes. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll make a motion to approve March 13th's agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Once again, if everybody's had a chance to review the minutes from February 13th's meeting, offer any suggestions for changes. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from February 13th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 13th, 2018.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to announcements. Start with Extravaganza.
Yes, sir. It's hard to believe that I believe we're getting into 15 years of the Extravaganza as well as the Family Arts Festival. This year's event is scheduled for Saturday, March 24th from 9 a.m. until noon. It'll be located here at the Civic Center grounds, located right in between the Civic Center and the Police Department facilities. All egg hunts will start at 12 noon sharp. Please bring the whole family out. We'll have bounce houses and a whole lot more. The bounces are $1 for wristbands, and they will be available on site. Besides that, a free petting zoo, booth with art and other activities, live performances from our talented local youth, and then the egg hunts, as I mentioned before, starting at noon. Also, don't forget to stop by the Civic Center. Come on inside. March is Youth Arts Month within the town of Prescott Valley and throughout the nation. And we have this year's display of young artisans, and you'll see several of our award winners. Honorable mention for second and thirds through all ages, K through 12.
Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the wristbands $10?
Yes, the wristbands are $10. My apologies. If I said $1, they are $10.
That would be a good deal.
That would be a good deal.
I'll take 10 of them.
Take 10 of them. There you go.
Very good. I know that's a big draw for the community, so it's a great event if you got young people that want to partake. So, next announcement is regarding the Arbor Day celebration.
Yes, sir. Our Arbor Day celebration is scheduled for Friday, April 27th. This will take place at 10 a.m. and carry on until noon. This is open to all ages and is entirely free. We'll be holding Arbor Day at Bob Edwards Park, right off of Long Look. And if you require more information, please visit us at the web or give our office a call at 759-3090. The first 500 in attendance will receive their free little baby tree, also known as a sapling. And you'll be able to help us plant, I believe, 5 new trees will be going into Bob Edwards Park in celebration of Arbor Day this year. So exciting times. You'll learn a lot, be able to put hands-on opportunities out there. We're anticipating several schools and students will be in attendance. So again, Friday, April 27th, 10 a.m., Bob Edwards Park.
Very good. Any questions? Next announcement regarding Hit, Pitch, and Run, I assume?
Yes, in this case, Pitch, Hit, and Run is coming up. This is for boys and girls ages 7 to 14. In their participation of this, it goes from a local to a regional to a sectional, so on and so forth, and they can advance all the way up to the Major League Baseball's All-Star Game weekend. Pretty exciting stuff. This is a very similar activity to our former punt, pass, and kick, where we had young people reach the nationals there as well. So this is for those baseball lovers, where you can pitch, hit, and run your way to the Major League All-Star Game. Our particular event will take place on Saturday, April 21st at Mountain Valley Park. Registration will begin at 10 a.m. and the event will begin at 11. So come out and join us. All participants must bring a copy of their birth certificate and then they have their parents fill out the registration waiver and form prior to the start of the competition that particular day. So we look forward to seeing everyone out there, as this is a partnership between the town of Prescott Valley and the Central Arizona Boys and Girls Club for this local pitch, hit, and run event, brought to you by Major League Baseball.
Very nice. Very nice. And any announcements about classes that we have coming up?
I have a whole host of classes, if you can bear with me.
Outstanding.
All right. We have hula class opportunities coming up. We have both beginner and advanced hula classes. These are conducted here at the Prescott Valley Library upstairs in the Crystal Room. Our upcoming date classes for the month of March is the 17th, and then in April, the 14th, and May, the 12th. We have monthly classes leading all the way through the month of December. For this and any of our other classes, you can register online from the comfort of your home on the town's website, pvaz.net, or you can give us a call at the office. We'll help you set up an account, or you can come in and visit us. Again, the classes for beginners and advanced are on Saturdays, starting at 9 a.m. for advanced and 1:30 in the afternoon for beginners. If you're looking at some developing your basketball skills, we have a program for you known as Be a Better Basketball Player. This is for boys and girls ages 7 to 17 to work on their fundamentals. Class dates begin March 19th, so registration needs to be handled soon. Classes will take place at the Canyon View Middle School.
Prep Academy.
Prep Academy, thank you. In doing such, and these are conducted on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 4:30 to 6:15 for 7 to 12-year-olds, and then 6:15 to 7:30 for 13 to 17-year-olds. Again, visit with us online at pvaz.net for registration. If you're interested in day trips, we have brought them back in 2018. Our first one will be to Bearzona and Williams, Arizona. So we're going to go up there and visit Bearzona, which is nestled up into the Kaibab Forest. There's approximately about 160 acres in this compound, and we'll take a 3-mile drive through the Ponderosa Pines. After that, we'll be able to get out and walk some of the winding paths through their zoo-type setting to observe some of the incredible wildlife that are there on site. Afterwards, we'll head into Williams, grab some lunch, and then head back, returning around 5 p.m. The date for this trip is Wednesday, March 28th, and we'll be leaving around 8 a.m. and returning at 5 p.m. So again, pre-registration is required for this program, and limited seating is available. So visit us online or give us a call at the office. Next, we have a couple of traditional ways workshops. This particular one is seed starting and garden planting. Visit with our instructor on Saturday, March 31st from 10 a.m. until noon. This will be conducted at the Civic Center in room 331, and it's available for ages 12 and up. Again, pre-registration is required, and youth are required. Youth ages 12 to 17 are required to register with an adult. So to look at these and other workshops in traditional ways, visit us at pvaz.net. I like this one because zucchini is an all-time favorite of mine, so good stuff here. This has been brought to you by the same instructor that has taught us on how to make butter from a churn, as well as some pastas and meats and canning. So a very well-versed instructor with lots of different opportunities to grow and learn, and they're all interrelated. So, and that I'd speak to that from a tummy standpoint. All right. Now, to burn all that off, we have Kickstart Boot Camp for Women. This is a ladies program to get you going in the right directions, available Monday through Fridays from 5:30 a.m. until 6:15. These are conducted at the Boys and Girls Club over in Mountain Valley Park, and we have a new session beginning March 19th and continuing on through April 13th. You can sign up for 3, 4, or 5 days a week for our program, and you can visit with us online or give us a call at the office. If the March through April dates do not work for you, our next session runs April 23rd through May 18th. So fabulous time here. Good group of gals getting together, having a ton of fun. And Miss Katie is exciting and awesome. So consider joining with her. We also have ballet classes with Miss Sue. These are for students ages 3 to 12 on Thursday afternoons from 4:15 into 5 p.m. We also have an intermediate class for 7 to 14-year-olds, Thursdays from 5 to 5:45. These are all done in our activity room at the Civic Center, and it is a monthly registration program. And so if you'd like to sign up for those, again, visit us at pvaz.net or give us a call at 759-3090. Next are tap and jazz classes with Miss Sue. Again, same age groups, 3 to 7 and 10 and up. Thursday afternoons, 3:30 to 4:15 or 4:45 to 6:30 p.m. for our intermediate groups. Again, in the activity room there at the Civic Center. And registering online or calling the office. And then for all of our crazy line dancing folks that enjoy coming out and having a great time with fun and exercise, this is the place to be. Our instructor, Miss Camille, has 15 years of experience in instructing line dancing, and this is for the high beginner to intermediate level student. So pre-registration is required and can be done so online or in our offices. This is a $3 per class, and walk-ins are welcome. In doing so, this is available to all ages, and it's conducted on Wednesdays from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in our activity room in the Civic Center. So we will look forward to seeing you. And if you haven't noticed the weather lately, it's springtime. So look forward to the flowers blooming, the grass growing, and all those kinds of good things. But we do ask that during this period of time, if those that are athletically minded, please be considerate of our athletic fields. You want to get back on them the very next day after rain has taken place. So do us the courtesy in staying off of them so that we can have them good and ready for you and not have to deal with the ruts or cancel the utilization of the field because of other issues stemming from what Mother Nature has provided us in giving you a quality environment. So, thank you. And that concludes our announcements for this evening.
Any questions for Brian? Sure do have a busy lineup for the spring offering this year. That's great. Okay, moving on. Department update for the director's report.
Well, as you can see, we've been quite busy. We continue to work on projects related to celebration of the town's 40th anniversary. Many of those you have seen in several of our different special events. You'll see a couple more in our upcoming events with Extravaganza Family Arts Festival as well as Arbor Day. So keeping those in place, and then also working to our celebration weekend, which will be August 24th and 25th. So if you don't have those dates in your calendar, please do so at this time, as there's going to be a tremendous lineup of entertainment and activities that will be made available for everyone to come enjoy. So very much looking forward to that. Beyond that, we've been quite busy with a multitude of different activities, whether they be budget related, as we're going through those processes right now in regards to putting together our tentative budget requests that will go before our town manager as well as our town council. So we'll have a little bit more information on that later. A multitude of different marketing components as well as program developments. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have concerning my specific report or any other of the reports from our coordinators in various divisions.
See no questions. Move on to the next item. That's the chairperson's report. And this month I don't have anything to report, so that'll be a quick close out there. If anybody has any specific questions for me, feel free to ask. Okay, we'll move on. Tree Advisory Board business. Happy to announce that we were awarded both the Tree City and the Growth Award again for this year. So is that 12 years in a row now?
Yes, sir.
12 years in a row. So, and any commissioners interested in attending the Arizona Forestry Arbor Day Awards that on April 24th at the Capitol Building in Phoenix, please get with Director Whitty and set up travel arrangements if your schedule so allows you to attend. Other than that, I'll take any questions regarding the Tree Advisory Board business. Seeing none. Move on to old business and the Fain Lake restoration update.
Yes, sir. So tonight I have some pictures of what was. Your upper photo here indicates the storm runoff that was coming through the Rose Creek branch. Typically, right there at those trees, you probably have at least an easy 25 feet of additional bank. You can see that water runs well beyond it in the other direction. So there was quite an eventful flow. The lower two photos are some images of what we found afterwards. And these are the great big sections of culvert pipe that you see, as well as if you look beyond the culvert pipes, one section already migrated off to the north there, but you'll also see some very large blocks. Well, those are probably 5-6 foot long concrete blocks that stand about 3 foot high, and we stacked those, and they went tumbling. So Mother Nature was not happy, and our little impediments were not going to stand in her way very well. So we had a lot of work that we are still doing down there in that branch of the lake. Now, to date, we've removed all the sedimentation that we can physically reach with equipment in the body of the lake off of Rose Creek. We have also reset all of our highway divider barriers that we used as sedimentation catch upstream in that arm of the creek to, again, help slow stormwater. As we can see, it's a very violent job to work against. So we're underway in doing that. We are choosing to remove the culvert pipe and not replace it. But what we are going to be doing is putting in a concrete low water crossing in that area so that we can get equipment across that branch of the creek to get it up into the park for other maintenance purposes as it comes forth for us to be able to do. We have been fighting this battle throughout my tenure of being here with the town year after year after year. We have received grant monies to help mitigate this. They've been approved in regards as sound strategies to work against the washout that occurs and trying to work to help benefit the body of the lake. What we lose year after year is that bridgeway, if you will, or that crossing. So rather than fight that, we're going to let the water flow. And we're going to do that with a large hardened piece of concrete that we're literally going to pour on top of quite a bit of large rock and those types of things. Just simply because it doesn't stand the test in doing those things. So those are going to be our next steps. You'll see that over the course of the next month and a half. And when you see that, that means that we're done. We're going to be resetting a lot of the block. As I mentioned before, we have already reset upstream a lot of the highway barrier work as well. So all of that sedimentation removal and reestablishment of that sedimentation catch has been done. We just need to work on pouring the concrete. So those are our next steps as we go through that process.
Real quick, and resetting the barriers that went tumbling down, and we know each of those weighs a couple thousand pounds,
yes,
a ton or two each. Are we digging down and getting them firmly planted underneath the channel?
Yes, we're doing the best we possibly can with that. One of the added strategies is that, so as an example, if my hand represents one of those barriers, what we're doing is we're teeing, if you will, in another support barrier, which we had in some cases in the past. We're doing that, and if we have it afforded to us, we're going to double set that. So it's actually going to be more of an H or a U setup to be able to produce to help keep it vertical.
Gotcha.
In doing that. This particular event, I'm not for sure if any strategy would have held up, especially being that the large, solid, rectangular blockades that we had simply rolled with the flow as well. And yes, pun intended. So, in doing those things. So, yeah, we're trying to work. Our goal is to function, and it has. It's just when you get into flow sets like this, and
Mercy.
yes, and this is a natural environment. This isn't, highway safety or any of those types of things. So this is what we're working on. Plus, also tied to this will be, as you had presented to you last month, and your recommendation for that presentation of signing up into the community fisheries program. That has gone before council in their work study session. They're very excited to receive then the intergovernmental agreement, and that will be coming forth next month to be presented to them. And in doing so, that will trigger additional monies again to help the fisheries of doing those types of things. So those are some other side benefits that come through that partnership. So our focus is here. It's not to sedimentation is coming into the lake. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're trying to reduce it. We know what we have to do when that occurs. We've already done it twice. We prefer to slow having to go through those processes. And that's a game and fish goal as well.
If I'm not mistaken, according to the bottom pictures there, it seems like the shoreline is just constantly being eroded.
In this particular instance, that's exactly what happened. So we have to go back in and do restoration efforts.
Do you fill those areas back in?
Yes, sir.
Are they compacted, or are they just
Correct.
kind of?
Rip wrap or anything on the banks, right?
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah.
To some degree, not in all cases.
Okay.
Though.
I know it's costly, so I didn't know if
Correct.
it was part of the budget.
Yep.
Good.
All right.
Any other questions? Okay. Capital project update.
Yes, in fiscal year 2017-2018, the following list of projects were slated. In our aquatics division, we had a controller unit. It is complete, but it does have an asterisk next to it. That's indicating that we have received it, but it has not been installed and the training has not been conducted yet. Being that our season's now coming up, we felt it was prudent to get all the other systems taken through their seasonal maintenance programs. Once they're done, that means the whole system can come online. That's the proper time for this installation to take place and all of the training to come with it. So we're basically 85% down the road with that particular project. Also at Mountain Valley Splash, the office roof renovations have been completed, as well as the slide tower, that entry section to the orange slide as you go down, that has been repaired and completed as well. In our parks, at Casa Park, the Ramada, all three of the former units were removed, and the new medium-sized Ramada has been installed with all of the landscaping and irrigation updates complete. We also procured our new mower. American Legion and Tonto North parking lots were revitalized, if you will. So that project is complete. The playground equipment at Mountain Valley Park, we installed some new swings there. So that project is complete. New utility vehicle was purchased, as well as a new truck. New being a used state vehicle in doing that. So those projects in our Parks Division have been completed. As far as an impact fee project, one of the last elements was the restroom there at Bob Edwards Park. That has been received. It's actually the back photo on this slide. So you're seeing that installed. That has been completed, as well as the landscaping surrounding it. Am I correct, Commissioner Fallman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then our community block development grant project, our Boys and Girls Club expansion project, it is in process. Plans are in place. It's gone out to bid. Those have been received. Additional monies are still being sought for its completion. And if those monies are not found, we'll be going through a redesign of that, scaling to what monies are allocated towards that project. So that is where we stand right now for fiscal year 17-18 at the 3/4 mark. So I would say our team has performed very admirably on those elements that are in their control.
A good indication of a lot of work that took place in the past fiscal year. So congrats to you and the entire staff and the contractors you picked to do this work, because it does make a difference.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions for Brian on the capital projects? Okay. Pickleball court update.
Yes, sir. I believe I've brought to your attention that Town Council did accept the donation agreement as presented to you for your recommendation to Council. So that agreement is in place. We are sitting down with the leadership team for the Prescott Valley Pickleball Association. We're reviewing those elements that would go into the desired construction and end outcome of the pickleball courts there at Antelope Park. And we've also begun some discussions with some design build companies in moving forward. Our goal is to get very accurate budget numbers based upon build standards that the town will be requiring, since it will be a town property after it's built and donated to the town. So having all of that information as well as some renderings so that you can go out and secure the donations, those are our next steps. So we're well underway, and then we'll start formulating approaches and timelines to follow.
Very good. I know the pickleball crowd will be very excited about making
Yes,
that
sir.
come to life. Okay, new business. Fiscal year 2018-19 budget development.
Yes, as I indicated earlier in our department report, we are well underway in making those things happen. We're going to be finishing up any of those little touch-ups for then presentation. We'll be meeting with town management towards the end of this month, getting feedback towards the early to middle part of next month on their final recommendations that will then in turn be presented to town council. That will happen in April, May, and then at that point in time we'll have a good understanding of what projects as well as our different divisions' operational budgets, budgeting levels that we'll have. So that's kind of more or less a timeline of where we're at in planning for fiscal year 18-19. In doing that, we are designing our budget on a zero increase moving forward into the next fiscal year. So we're going to be looking at that. Items that will be highly scrutinized will be any capital projects or projects that do not have a direct funding source. So those will be the items that we'll have a lot of discussion and debate to them. Other than that, the town manager has made it very clear to our department and every other department, if you are able to establish a zero-based budget, then you've achieved the goal and there will not be much to talk about. That would be standard business as usual. So we're working to achieve those things, but we will have some elements that will be impactful this year. As we know, rainfall has not been very prevalent, so we do have some increases that are already presenting themselves to current fiscal year budget. I'm not seeing any forecasted changes for the upcoming year, so it will be something we'll need to look at and consider as well as just some general costs that are coming on board. So we're coming up with different strategies on how we can do that. So we're pretty excited from the standpoint it is a zero-based. We've had several discussions in the past. You've heard them at town council meetings as well. We did have some zaps into the local economy with a loss of a big box unit, as well as then also state shared revenues being down. And that's coming from the state government. So those are some considerable factors that the town as a whole is looking at. And we're partnered in that cause and making sure that we do operate with a balanced budget as best as possible. So that's what we have. So that is your update for upcoming 18-19.
Very good. Any questions regarding the budgeting? Okay, moving on to the 2018 tournament schedule.
Yes, sir. I like presenting this just to give folks an idea of what is upcoming. Again, I like to hang my hat a little bit on last fall in October. We had a fabulous National Junior College men's soccer tournament in town. That was back in November. Upcoming already this year, we have a couple of big hitters. The Yavapai Cup boys soccer tournament, that's going to be April 6th through 8th. So lock yourself in your house that weekend. You'll have several thousand youth boys soccer players in town. The very next following weekend is the girls soccer tournament, April 13th through the 15th. That is also very highly attended. New for us this year is the Arizona Soccer Alliance tournament. This is an adult soccer tournament. It's been held for a number of years up in Flagstaff and actually left the valley to go to Flagstaff and now is coming to us.
Nice.
That'll be the Memorial Weekend. In doing that, we have the Cool Country Classic Men's Softball Tournament, June 8th through 11th. The World Senior Softball Tournament, which is a men's softball tournament, July 20th through 21st. The Last Chance Softball Tournament by the SSUSA organization, August 17th through the 19th. And then also the ISA Men's Softball Tournament, September 1st through 2nd. So this is just our athletic tournaments as it sits now. We always procure a few more as we go through the year in doing that. And this is just athletic tournaments. This is on top of all of the different special events, both that the town hosts themselves as well as those organizations that come to us. And you see those on a monthly basis of items that are in process and doing that. So we're actually going to be hosting Memorial Weekend. We have the adult soccer tournament as well as then we're also going to have a state dog show that we'll also be hosting. That's something that's just come through the door in the last couple of days. So there's a variety of all kinds of goodies going on.
Is the dog show the same as the one that they've held at the...
No, that one will be held in the event center. That one will be done towards the end of September.
Okay.
So this is their third or fourth year over there, and that one's big.
Yeah.
That one's 3,500 entries. They're coming from east side of the Mississippi River, all over the place. So it's a busy, busy place. The whole town goes to the dogs that weekend. So doing that. But this will be a state association dog show. Okay. This will actually be held on the grounds of the Civic Center between that building and the police department.
Very nice.
In doing that. So we'll have probably a couple hundred.
Very nice.
That'll be in place and doing those things. So,
And Brian, will those dog shows be very well advertised so that
those particulars really is more designed towards the competitors themselves as opposed to the big event center. That one will be very much advertised.
and a question of that the soccer tournaments will be held over at Mountain Valley?
Actually, literally every appropriately sized soccer field location. So you'll have Mountain Valley, the amphitheater, you'll have Viewpoint Park, you'll have Pronghorn Park, you'll have Antelope Park, and Bob Edwards Park. So all of those locations will be in play for all the soccer tournaments because we're talking several hundreds and thousands of teams that'll be in attendance.
And how about the softball?
Softball, that will all be conducted at Mountain Valley. It'll be on the fourplex as well as then down at the amphitheater.
So a lot of traffic in town and
Lots of good
a lot of good news for
Yep.
for the local
visits to the
businesses.
gas station, visits to the restaurants, stays at the hotel.
Oh, yeah,
all those
we
kinds of
love the
good-
tournaments.
we definitely love the
We see
tournaments.
them out at the restaurants and around town, and
Yep.
we're glad to have them.
Right.
It's great.
So all I'm advising is consider the dates and maybe don't have dinner that night out on the town.
Or wear your soccer or softball shirt.
And join right in and, get the cowbells out and go crazy.
Right.
So, but I know that's a conversation that we have in depth on different weekends and stuff and advisements. And it's just, I think, we heard it a lot during the national soccer tournament. And we were talking to collegiate level teams from throughout the nation, East Coast, North, South, even beyond us to the West. And many of them, I would say probably 80 to 85% of them said, our field isn't even this good.
Nice.
And the games that they had to play to get to the national tournament, none of those compared to what we've got here. And then the fact that it looks this good in October, holy Toledo. So that's what I think speaks volumes in regards to these other folks that come and seek us out. So we're the right size, and we have a good atmosphere for them. So
Can't beat the weather.
that is correct.
Well, and all that comes down to the work from the Parks and Rec folks keeping those fields in excellent condition. I mean, that's not easy, and you guys do just an amazing job.
I've got awesome guys and gals that get out there and make it happen. So
Brian, I'll tell you, I attended several of those games for the national soccer tournament there, and I was just listening to people coming and going, just on and on about how beautiful the field was and the views around the valley, and it was amazing to just sit there and watch the games as well as listen to everybody. So again, just a big shout out to you and your team for doing such a great job.
thank you.
Is that tournament returning in 18, or is
That is a rotational location. So typically what happens is it goes for west, central, and east, and it goes through a rotation. The only reason we weren't going to be eligible until this next year to put a bid in for it. And just by chance, the other region was not able to, so they opened it up and we got bumped in to host it. They were very satisfied with our first effort. So we made some nice improvements during the second year. It basically went off without a hitch. Weather was very kind to us in doing that. So I think we've got a good opportunity going into the future. It's just if it's desirable, because we do this in partnership with Yavapai as well as the NJCAA in doing those types of things. So as long as we can put it all together, our community and their sponsorship and support of doing those types of things. I mean, there were infrastructure upgrades that were made. Cable One came to the table and said, hey, you guys need to live stream these things. How can we help? Okay, wow.
Nice.
That was one of those things that we in the college weren't going to be able to do. And through that partnership and in sponsoring that type of opportunity, we were able to make it happen. So that's now gives us a little upper edge, and if we can maintain that, that's awesome. And just a variety of different things that all have to come into play. So it's just not the college and the town. It's literally both of these communities being able to make this happen through donations, sponsorships, partnerships, all that kind of good stuff.
outstanding?
Indeed.
Okay, that's the last of the new business items. Any other business we need to discuss while we're all here?
I have a quick question, Brian. I heard you on the radio last week, and you were talking about, I believe, some of the lake stockings.
That was all fictitious lies. I'm sorry you heard that.
Because I've got all my fishing gear in the car, and I was just trying to get a couple of hints or tips from you on where to go.
Well, I wish I knew. Basically, what I was referencing during those radio conversations was back to our community fishing proposal that we had. So once that intergovernmental agreement comes in front of council, then we will be basically partnered then with Game and Fish for enhancing our stocking schedule. Currently, we're a beneficiary from Game and Fish. They come and stock the lake as monies and fish are available to them. We're not on the priority list, if you will. We're on the list. It's just not part of the partnership. So that's what this enhancement will do for us. Currently, you can go to the town's website. It will redirect you then to the Game and Fish site, and it will list then all of those specific dates of what their planned or anticipated stockings would be. Once we get into that partnership, we'll pretty much be able to set our clock to whatever that schedule is that they develop in doing that. The cool part about that is We'll have some of the standard fish stockings, but we'll also have some enhanced fish or more mature fish, if you will, that will be stocked in our lake. So some of those whoppers
What
will be out.
he's saying is, in fishing, size matters. So the few little tykes that are left over in the tank that we get now
Yeah, there you are.
are going to be a lot
Yeah.
larger. So,
So-
they actually stock fairly good-sized fish.
So I'm not sure what kind of fishing equipment you have. I know I'm going to have to upgrade my little Snoopy pole because of that increase
Yeah, that's what
in
it
more
sounds
mature fish. Yeah, because it's just going to snap that rascal right off. So.
All right, good.
Yes. So we're pretty excited about it. Not only will Fane be a location, but they're also going through their testing and review. We already know water quality wise it's met the standard. There's some other elements that we'll have to go through. And if they do, the urban lakes will be brought on. And we've not had that as a fishery before. So that's a pretty cool thing because that one you can walk to. The largest percentage of our community can do that.
That's really a perfect location. Last year, in finishing the pipeline multi-use path, coming right down from Robert Road through the east side of town, folks will be able to walk, ride, be right there at the urban lake. So we hope that works out.
Yeah, the downside of that pathway is Ron can now walk into town. So.
I can't get across 89. It's just too scary.
So, very good. So, thank you for listening. That was a fun time with Laura Lee there.
Yeah.
So.
Very good. Any other questions or comments?
Danny, you're so kind. I appreciate that.
Just taking notes. Upgrading fishing equipment.
There you
Going to
go.
Dick's right after.
No unscheduled public appearances, I assume, since we're all alone. Okay, our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 10th, right here in the auditorium at 6:30 p.m. With that, take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
I
We are adjourned.